Well, we're back again. It's still Sunday, August 24th, 2025. You're watching Call It for Two. Today, this afternoon, you're joining me for a second playthrough, this time of an Unsolved case files game actually called different things. It looks like they renamed it. First, they initially named it the way they've been naming most of their cases, based on a person's name. Then they realized they wanted to lean into the gimmick a little bit. So here on my copy, it says the title is The Lost Brown Wallet. This is a game I purchased off Amazon for about $20 with help from the Patreon supporters of this channel. YouTube says we've got 20 concurrent viewers. So we're going to play through this game. As has been pointed out in the chat, this is not a brand new game, and there are several playthroughs on YouTube of this, including one by a channel that plays lots of these Unsolved case files games called The Gamery, a very nice couple. We've seen them cover several of the mystery games that I play on this channel, and it did make me think. On these Sunday live streams, I tend to feel like, all right, we can chat a little bit. I'm not as serious about getting into the game as I am in some of the other playthroughs, although arguably I'm never all that serious about jumping into them. But I think Sunday is a day for us to chat a little bit more. And it is an interesting question. There are probably, broadly speaking, two groups of people that watch playthroughs. There are the people that are, what would you call it? They're the people that are sort of voraciously consume from anyone who's covering a game they're interested in. So if you're interested in mystery games, maybe you'll watch playthroughs of any YouTube channel that does a playthrough of a game. Whoever covers it first, you'll watch it there. Or maybe you watch all the playthroughs of it. And then there are probably, just like there are board gamers that will play with any group that enjoy the process, the activity of playing board games, and whether it's with, this group or this group or this person, they'll still have fun. Then there are people that are more like me in that they have a very narrow range of people that they can spend time with and not lose their minds. And then, so maybe those people, I'm thinking like you've picked your one or two YouTube people that for whatever reason you've gotten comfortable with. So you'll watch whatever games they play. And it doesn't matter if some other group has covered that game. You've just got your people that you watch. So I don't know how this channel breaks down there. Anything else to talk about before we get into this? Let me just vent a little bit about these. I assume that those of you who watch, although because this channel has veered away from cooperative board games, and now we're veering back a little bit, but I don't know how much of the audience of this channel is locked into the broader board game world. But one of the most popular board game channels is called Shut Up and Sit Down, and they have highly produced occasional big long reviews where they're like put on like comedy productions as well as reviewing games. Some people really like that channel. I'm not a huge fan of the style, but something really rubs me the wrong way about this recent series that they've put out called Board Games Direct. And so they've put out a whole bunch of them this last week. I don't know if anyone has watched them. They are paid previews. A paid preview, otherwise known in other areas as advertisements. But what's particularly bothersome from my standpoint about this, Board Game World gets very upset about certain violations, causes everyone to freak out. But for some reason, no one seems to be much concerned with this intermingling of paid content and reviews. And this is a very big channel. And I find it quite upsetting to be like, all we're doing is reviews, reviewing games, recommending games. And then they sneak in this thing called Board Games Direct, where half of them don't even mention that they're paid. And some of them mention it like way down into the video. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's like, here's the pitch of this Board Games Direct. For if ever there was a phrase, a title of a series that is not conveying what it is. And they're like, here, we're going to bring you all these exciting, cool new games. And they talk about them. They're like, here, they're going to go over 50 games and tell you how wonderful they are and show you how much fun they're having playing them. And then in one video before that, they're like, oh yeah, these are all paid. Why have we chosen these games? Because we love them. Oh yeah, but also every one of these has to be paid. They have to get money to put these in. And then we're going to go back to the reviews. This intermingling of reviews and paid content that looks like reviews is really distasteful. That's where I come from. Okay, let's get back to having fun playing this game now. If you are here because you like wallets, if your focus is wallets, how funny would it be if I started advertising a wallet here? No, I'm not advertising a wallet, but I did want to show you that there are a couple of wallet games. So in addition to this one, here is another one that's come out very recently. This feels like a much cheaper production. There's very little in here. It's like a paper wallet. But you can see these two games are almost identical in the hook. They are found wallet games where you solve a crime. The one we're playing today looks much more substantial. There is another wallet game, though, that I mentioned last time we looked at it, but I never showed it on camera. It's just called Wallet. Yes, it is just called Wallet. Party Game Wallet. This is, I don't know how well you can see it with the glare, but basically there's a wallet. And it's like a social deduction game where you go around in the circle and you could take something out or put something back. There's a whole bunch of social deduction games that have that same mechanic where you're secretly taking items or putting items back, and then you have to figure out who to accuse of stealing what. This game is quite, I mean, it looks really cool. Actually, there's like money, credit cards, and special rules about what you steal. Very short little party game. There are reviews on YouTube about it. Okay, but today we are playing this one. Probably take us several hours. Let's open it. And what's in the chat? Let's see what we've got here. Melissa just got this in the mail, trying to decide if I want to play along with my copy or watch after I do. Yeah, that's a good reminder, though, for me to do my spiel about these games. You can only play through once, then you understand the mystery. So if this looks like a game that might be right for you or your group, you might want to stop watching, pick it up, play it. You can always come back and watch the video afterwards. Co-op for 2 is ever going to have a sponsor. I have a sneaking suspicion it'll be a company that makes wool socks. Well, I am on the record. Wool socks or coffee. I am on the record saying that if you're going to take ads, the one way you could do it, I really hate ads, and YouTube has gotten more aggressive about putting ads on YouTube videos, and it's very aggressive about trying to convince YouTube content creators to allow ads on their video. Every time I start a video, I have to multiple places tell it I don't want ads run. Well, every other setting in YouTube, you can be like, use this as my default. Use this bandwidth as my default, use the setting as my default, but ads, no. Ads, you must every single time tell it you don't want ads on the video. And you have to tell it multiple times. Like you have to tell it when you create the video, then you have to tell it again when you're opening up the page to view the comments. Like they are really trying hard. And YouTube and Google are in a constant war with the ad blockers to force people to watch ads on the videos. It's unpleasant. You really do need an ad blocker. If you're using a mobile device, it's even harder to get rid of those ads. I don't know what the future is. There's a term. I know we're spending a lot of time on this stuff before we start. Does everyone know the term enshittification? Do you know what that is? I mean, it is what it sounds like, but it's a very well-known pattern. Does anyone know what that is? Can anyone explain it? I'll explain it if no one else does. It's basically a business plan. And the business plan works like this. Whenever you start a service or a business, you make it very attractive with good terms. In other words, you start your YouTube platform and you put no ads, and you say, oh, there's no ads on this channel. Look on this service, look how wonderful it is to use. And you make it free. And then you put it out there for a couple years till you establish a base of users that are sort of locked in and don't have an easy time leaving. And then you gradually make the service more shitty. You start forcing ads down people's throats. First it's a 10-second ad, then it's a 30-second ad, then 2 30-second ads. Now that they're locked in, that they've bought into this wonderful platform that started out so nice, then you can start making it shitty and suck all the money. Same thing if you're a content creator and you're making your bones on your reviews. Well, you wait till you get your 30,000 subscribers, and then you start doing the paid content. And you just slip it in with your reviews. All right. Let's focus. Let's focus. It's not going to be all complaints. So here we go. We have an actual wallet here. It's like a fake leather wallet. I mean, how cool is this? It is like you found a wallet. All right, let's back up and read the introduction here. So in addition to the wallet, we've got some envelopes. Looks like very similar structure to most of the unsolved case files, except with this gimmick form. Unsolved Case Files has tried a couple of these gimmicks. We played a case that they called a photo case, which was focused on photographs. So I do like that they're experimenting. All right, let's see what we've got here. Instructions. Unsolved Case Files is a game that lets you solve a fictional crime using the evidence and documentation from the case. Operation 1, prove Cassandra lied. Once you find the evidence Cassandra lied about the day Tara disappeared, visit this website. Okay, so we will need a website a little bit, but this kind of sounds like we're jumping ahead here, huh? I suppose maybe we should start here. Mystic Point Press. Dear Detective, 6 months ago, a young woman named Tara Noble disappeared without a trace shortly after passing through our town of Mystic Point, Texas. She visited our train station on her way to Austin for the psychic fair, where she seemingly vanished. Her disappearance caught the attention of our town for 2 reasons. 1, our town has a long history of unexplained disappearances. 2, it's the most dramatic thing that's happened around here in a while. I covered the story when she disappeared, never suspecting Mystic had a part to play. But now, Walter Henderson, our station agent and town photographer, has uncovered something that could change everything. Tara's wallet was discovered wedged behind the trash can in the women's restroom. The discovery raises new questions. How did it get there, and what could it mean for understanding her disappearance? You're probably wondering why I've reached out to you instead of police, and there's a troubling answer. Inside Tara's wallet is a card from a Texas Ranger with a threatening note on the back. The Texas Rangers are the law of the land around here, and until we can confirm the Ranger wasn't involved, I don't know who we can trust. I've spent hours revisiting my phone interview with Tara's business partner and travel companion, Cassandra Price. Something about her felt dishonest, but at the time I just thought she was eccentric. Now I can't shake the feeling she lied to me about what happened that day. Cassandra claims she was with Tara all the way to Austin, and I'm convinced she's the key to unraveling the mystery. I've included my original article and a photo Walter snapped of Tara during her stop in Mystic Point in hopes they'll help your investigation. I'm convinced we can crack this case open if we just figure out what Cassandra lied about. Can you help me? Margaret Kinney, editor and publisher and everything else at Mystic Point Press. There's a phone number here, but it's a 555 phone number. You're not meant to actually call it. And then we've got a list of items in the case in case you're missing something, but in general, I don't worry about that unless we get stuck somewhere. Okay, so we heard the case. She thinks that Cassandra, the person she interviewed, the partner, lied. So we'll go there when we know the answer. And here is a picture that got snapped of Tara by the photographer. And here is our article in the paper about her disappearance. Let's read this. Young woman vanishes. Woman vanishes after passing through Mystic Point. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Traveler disappears hours after visiting our town, sparking eerie echoes of Mystic Point's mysterious past. Tara Noble visits Mystic Point hours before her disappearance. The sudden disappearance of Tara Noble has sparked unexpected attention here in Mystic Point. Although her visit lasted only 15 minutes, our quiet town is left wondering if it holds a piece of the puzzle. The disappearance of the young Claremont psychic remains unsolved. Station agent Walter Henderson recalls she was polite and asked about the train schedule. I took her photo as part of my hobby documenting life at the station before she stepped away to use the restroom. I didn't see her again after that. The image Henderson captured is possibly one of the last photos taken of Noble. Cassandra Price, Tara's business partner and co-founder of Two Psychic Ladies, spoke with me via the phone number listed on their website. Tara was so full of ideas that day, Cassandra said. We arrived at the fair in Austin as scheduled, and she couldn't stop talking about all the ways we could grow the business. I keep telling myself she's just off on some kind of spiritual retreat and will walk back through the shop doors any day now. Though her stop in Mystic Point was brief, some in town can't help but wonder if Mystic's storied past could somehow be connected to today's pressing mystery. Henderson remains the only known person here in town to have met her. He described Tara as calm and friendly during their brief meeting, a demeanor that makes her sudden disappearance all the more baffling. Mayor Martin Whitaker interacted with her partner, Cassandra Price, at the Trading Post. He stated, "She was surely a bit eccentric, but still relatively friendly. She asked me about the special powers of our polished stones. But I guess she didn't like my answer because she didn't buy any." As neighbors trade stories and try to make sense of what little we know, there's a shared hope that Tara's journey through Mystic Point might yet hold a clue to her whereabouts. There's no denying that Mystic Point has always had its share of mysteries, but the community is rallying together in support of the search for Tara. As one local put it, "Even if the answer isn't here, we'll do everything we can to help find it." Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward, reminding us all that even the smallest detail could make a difference. All right. Not much of a discussion about what this weird history in this town is. She went into the restroom. That's the last time anyone saw her. Her wallet is found behind the trash can in the restroom. So it sounds like she was taken from the restroom. She's got a partner. This whole partner, a psychic woman business partner. But then there's something going on about the town, some mystical, psychic town issues. But we haven't heard about it yet. Let's see. Uncovering the truth and informing our rural community since 1929. If we open up on the other side, okay, maybe here's a hint about some of the town's history. Anniversary of the Great Disappearance of 1892. This week marks the anniversary of the Great Disappearance of 1892, when the entire town vanished without a trace. A lantern vigil will be held at the cemetery to honor those lost and reflect on the mystery that continues to define Mystic Point's past. Some residents speculate connections between the 1892 vanishing and recent events. "Mystic Point's history feels closer than ever," one local shared, echoing the unease that lingers in the air. Adding to the intrigue, old records from 1892 mention strange symbols etched into walls and trees in the weeks leading up to the disappearance. Though their meaning was never uncovered, the symbols have become a lasting part of the town's folklore, fueling speculation about what they could have foretold. And then here we have another article, Graves Disturbed at Mystic Point Cemetery. Mystic Point Cemetery was disturbed this week, with several gravestones, including Elias Whitaker's, shifted or partially unearthed. Light digging around some of the plots has left residents uneasy as the anniversary of the Great Disappearance of 1892 nears. With some blame teenagers, there's no evidence to support this. Teens in Mystic Point are known for pranks, but nothing this invasive. Who would tamper with graves? The act has raised questions about whether someone was playing a tasteless prank or searching for something long buried. So the grave that was dug up is Elias Whitaker, an ancestor of the mayor. Was it the mayor? Yeah, the mayor, who talked to the partner. Okay. And then we have some horoscopes. What do you think this is about? By Margaret Kinney, the world's most accurate horoscope. Aries, dangerous week, steer clear of Mystic Cavern, the Trading Post, ice cream, Mystic Saloon. These are mentioning lots of places. Your alluring nature has gained you a secret admirer in the town. TBC. What's that about? All right. Let's see what the chat has to say. Read Virgo. Virgo is mine. All right, we'll read them later when we get to them. When they become useful. Surely they are going to become useful. All right, well, here's our person we're going to try to get justice for. Tara Noble. Partner of two psychic ladies. So let's take a look at the wallet now, the star of the show. So here is the wallet found behind the trash can. So here's her Texas driver's license. It actually looks shockingly like, okay, it doesn't, it's plastic though. It feels real. At a quick glance, it looks like it could be a driver's license. Let's see. Tara Noble. It's got her ID, which I guess is probably like her social security number. Not a real social security number, but similar. It's got her address in Claremont, Texas. Female, 5'4", brown eyes, date of birth 3/24/2005. Tara B. Noble. So what have we got here? We've got a sample of her handwriting. Date of birth, sample of her handwriting. Okay, so what is her sign? She's an Aries. Your bold energy this week may lead to a lively debate at the jailhouse. All right. Nothing on the back. All right, what have we got next here? Another plastic card. It's a debit card. Claremont Public Bank, where honesty is the bottom line. Okay, so we've got her numbers. Nothing. Oh, we've got more signature. And her security code. So, I mean, doesn't look like a robbery, right? If they didn't take her debit card, although maybe they are worried you can't use it. Do you think that we need to be able to read this fine print? Surely not. Must be returned. $50 reward. Not $50 reward, $50 penalty. That's all you'd get, $50 if you use someone else's card and then a fake number. Okay, but it is yet again sample of her signature. Maybe we'll get some records and we can trace them to this card. And as the chat pointed out, she is an organ donor. That doesn't seem... let me point out, like, even if you're telling a story where someone is killing someone for their organs, You don't care if they're an official organ donor. If you're going to kill them and steal their organs, this does not help. This does not matter to you. You're not like, let me see if I'm going to kill you and harvest your organs. Oh, you're an organ donor. Okay, I'll do it. No, you'll kill them anyway. Does anyone remember the Stephen King story and miniseries about the town that disappeared? Wasn't there? There was a town that disappeared in one of these Stephen King things. Okay, so I also see in the wallet 2 business cards. One for Tara and one for Cassandra. So they're both partners in this business, 2 psychic ladies. They both have the same title. We've got QR codes for that, which we'll surely want to open up and visit. We've also got 2 email addresses. I wonder if we should be emailing them, and then a website, but probably just a QR code to this same website. Now, Tara's business card has her photo on the back, and Cassandra has hers too. Okay, so now we've got a first look at her partner, who we think is lying, Cassandra. They're both psychics. They looks like they use different things to do their psychic stuff. And on Cassandra's card, it says IOU 1625. Well, you don't murder someone for 16 bucks. All right, so we'll be visiting these websites in a bit. Put these off to the side and continue going through our wallet. Okay, we were told that this Ranger card had a threatening note on the back, and that's why they haven't called the police. So let's take a closer look at this card. Wade J. Nash in Austin. And let's see what the back of this card says. Call me ASAP or this will end badly for you. Yeah, that kind of sounds like a threat. And we've got Wade's handwriting now. Okay, then we have the magnifying glass. I normally make fun of these and throw them away, but we know from experience that Unsolved Case Files loves to make things that are hard to read and are important to read. So I will not be throwing this away. I will be keeping it nearby. All right, let's see what else is in her wallet here. Got a receipt. Claremont Station Cafe. So we know what time she was in this cafe. She got a black coffee and a caramel macchiato and 2 croissants of different types and a raspberry Danish. Okay, well, this certainly seems like she was with someone at this train station, even though we're told by the person who saw her that he just saw Tara. Clearly, she's with someone else. We've got a debit card. Is that her debit card that was used? Yes. And this says IOU 1625. Let's just see. Total here is 1820. Well, total subtotal, but the total is 2270, $3 tip. Well, I do notice that 1820 minus $1.95 is 1625. But why would Cassandra be paying for everything except for the coffee? Is that right? Or am I, or is it six, or is it? Yeah, I think that's right. 1625. Yeah, that's the total minus $1.95. Strange. Okay. But that would tell us that Cassandra would be the person that she was with here. All right, what else is in the wallet? We've got a little flyer here for the Austin, Texas Psychic Fair at the Texas Convention Center. Oh, look at that. That's neat. We got a little map here. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so maybe the green on this is making it not want to zoom in. But there's the train station here on our far left. And here's a map of the convention center, which means nothing to us yet. But let's see, keep reading. Maybe the rest of it will start to make sense. I wonder if it's going to want to not zoom in because of all the other green. How about if we hold it over? Okay, you can take the airport, 30-minute drive. Train stops directly in front of the Psychic Fair entrance. Car or shuttle. Featured exhibits, dream mapping display, professional dream maps done by certified psychics, ritual candles. White candle at the center was last used by Madame Farfall. The memory mirror, mirror reflecting lost lives. Some say it shows those missing today. The Ancestral Talisman Collection, captivating display of protective charms from around the world, some tied to unexplained energy shifts. And the Crystal Resonance Display, rare crystals that vibrate subtly when handled, said to reflect emotional energy. Smoky quartz in the display has been unusually active lately. Okay, and here is Madame Issa Farfel, the keynote speaker. Personal meet and greet available to VIP pass holders. Signatures are available to all attendees, $14.99. Become a Farfel faithful. Unlock spiritual gifts, uncover wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Learn from the world champion psychic, Madame Issa Farfel. Spaces are limited. Apply near the boarding entrance. Application fee $24.99. Or join the Farfel site subscription. Experience magic every month. Exclusive live streams, monthly readings, personalized insights, access members only tools, guided meditations, and more. Only $19.99 a month. Sign up at the keynote room. See beyond the veil. Your journey awaits. Visit Madame Issa Farfel team at the Farfel booth or Farfel table for more details. And then we have a timeline of special events, social hours, group members, small rooms. So this is telling us what's in each of the different rooms on this map. Not useful to us yet, but hopefully later. And here is Mystic Point. Town information. Okay, information about the town. All right, let's see what we've got here. Station agent, cemetery, town history, the railway route, letter from the mayor, prime attractions, Mystic Cavern, saloon, jailhouse, and the trading post. These are all mentioned, by the way, in here. Like here's Mystic Station, here's the trading post, cavern, jailhouse. I wonder what that's about. All right, we'll come and read through this in a bit, but let's keep going for the moment through the wallet. Only a couple things left. We've got a ticket, a VIP pass. Austin, Texas Psychic Fair Standard VIP Pass. All right. So they've got a VIP pass. I don't know. Would it have been punched if they used it? Hard to know. We've got a train ticket. Let's take a look at this. So it's Tara's train ticket. Round trip. She boarded it when she arrived. She never got on the train to go back home. There will be a 15-minute stop at Mystic Point. Trains run every hour until 11 p.m. Smoking on the train is a federal offense. Economy class. So she was supposed to come home 7 p.m. from Austin. I see. So she just had a stopover at Mystic. But from Claremont to Austin, from Austin, so she never boarded the return. Oh, I see. This is where she, is this where she disappeared? Like during the stopover? Is that what we're supposed to be? Although her visit lasted only 15 minutes, our quiet town is left wondering. Okay, so she disappeared here on her way to this convention and never made it. She boarded it, but she never made it. She disappeared during the 15-minute stopover. That's what we're to understand. She disappeared during this 11 a.m. scheduled stopover. All right. Disappeared during her 15-minute scheduled stopover. Why is it not zooming in? We don't have a date on this, oddly, but it doesn't matter, I guess, because we've got the date here. Do we have the date here? No, it's just the time. Okay, but Claremont. Okay, so here you go. They arrived, the two of them, at the Claremont train station for a 9 a.m. departure. Tara pays for their breakfast, which her partner Cassandra eats up most of it. Tara's saving money. She only owns a coffee. Cassandra orders all this rest of it and says, I owe you. Then they get on the train. They go and they have a stopover in Mystic Point for 15 minutes, during which time our girl Tara goes to the restroom and is never seen again. All right. We also have, as perhaps the last item in the wallet, a checklist. What is this checklist of? It's from the Two Psychic Ladies notepad. It's got 4 items. We'll show you a future so bright you'll need polarized sunglasses. And what have they checked? It sounds like they've checked off the places they want to visit. They want to visit Madame Isa Farfall. Where's our... This is the convention they were headed towards. They want to talk to Lady Gamelli of the Angels, Francis Fregola, the Foreseer, Visionary Manny Maldafini. Are these people listed here? Not really. Only Madame Isa Farfall is listed. All right. Doesn't really help us much, though. Nothing strange about the way that's written, is there? Not really. All right, let's make sure there's nothing else in this wallet that we're overlooking. I don't see anything else. There is an underlayment thing, but I think that's it. So you can see it's not necessary for this to be all put in a wallet. You could just give standard documents, but it is pretty cool and thematic to imagine you found someone's wallet. Now, clearly, from what we've looked at, this is not enough to answer what did Cassandra lie about. However, maybe when we visit their websites and when we reread the statement that she gave, it'll be clearer. If I had to guess, I'd guess that she's going to have lied about something about this bill, but we'll find out. But I think what we should do is, well, okay, let's finish reading this, then we will have read everything, and then we'll come back and we'll try to go to the website and solve this case. But before we take a break, let's read this brochure about Mystic Point. Meet the station agent. Walter Henderson, Mystic Point's station agent, is known for his helpful nature and passion for capturing life as it happens. Whether you're a lost traveler or just passing through, Walter is the person to turn to for directions or even a photo of your journey. Give him a wave as you leave town and you might just make it into one of his favorite snapshots. I started working at Mystic Point Station when I was only 10 years old. It's been a privilege to meet so many unique and fascinating people over the years. Don't be afraid to say hello next time you're passing through Mystic. For history enthusiasts and seekers of the unknown, Walter's a treasure trove of fascinating tales about Mystic Point's past. The town didn't earn its name just from the ghostly morning fog that rolls in. It's a place steeped in stories, where whispers of fortune and shadows of mystery intertwine. If you're lucky, Walter might pull out some of his photographs, each one capturing a moment that holds a story all its own. Here's information about the cemetery. Mystic Point Cemetery is a poignant reminder of the town's mysterious past. Established in the early 1800s, it holds the graves of the town's original settlers, many of whom shaped Mystic Point's early history. Among the headstones are those of the residents who died before the Great Disappearance of 1892. For years after the tragedy, the cemetery fell silent. No new graves were dug, and no one remained to tend the grounds. When settlers returned, they added a memorial stone to honor the forgotten souls of Mystic Point, commemorating those who vanished. Today, Mystic Point holds an annual lantern ceremony at the cemetery on the anniversary of the disappearance, lighting the night in remembrance of the lives lost and the mystery that still lingers. The cemetery, with its weathered stones and overgrown paths, carries a stillness that feels almost alive. Some say the air seems heavier here, as if the land itself remembers the lives lost. Stop on by the cemetery if you feel brave enough to face the echoes of the past. It's only a 5-minute walk from the train station. Here's the trading post. Mystic Point began as a humble trading post in the early 1800s, growing into a bustling settlement built on trade and community. By the late 19th century, it had flourished into a thriving town with a promising future, but in 1892, everything changed. One night, without warning, every resident of Mystic Point vanished. Homes were left untouched, meals sat uneaten, and fires still burned in their hearth. The town stood frozen in time, shrouded in mystery. For years, Mystic Point lay abandoned, a ghost town filled with whispers and speculation. In 1901, settlers returned to rebuild. They found a town eerily preserved, but overshadowed by the enigma of its past. Though life resumed, the shadow of the Great Disappearance of 1892 lingered, weaving itself into the identity of Mystic Point. Visitors today can explore its historic landmarks and feel the weight of a mystery that has never been solved. So we've got a dual-track mystery, a very recent cold case, missing person, and then a very old mystery that I presume we're going to get a chance to solve, which is exciting. Here's an old railway route, and you can see it goes from Claremont to Mystic Point to Austin, which is the route our girl was taking when she disappeared. All right, what have we got here? A letter from the mayor. Welcome to Mystic Point, small but storied community built on travel and trade. Though times have changed, Mystic Point remains a place where history lingers and mystery thrives. We invite you to take a short 5-minute walk into town, uncover its hidden treasures, from charming shops to our historical sites and landmarks. Stop by the trading post for a warm welcome from me, Mayor Martin Whitaker. If time allows, I'd be happy to guide you through Mystic Point myself. We look forward to your visit. All the best, Martin Whitaker. Mayor Martin Whitaker. Okay, we got his signature. This is a brochure that would have been at the train station. That's probably where she picked this up during the layover. All right, here's our prime attractions. Nestled in a quiet desert valley, Mystic Point's a town of intrigue, mystery, and curiosity that's soon sure to captivate passers-by. Here's Mystic Cavern. Mystic Cavern, nestled on the town's outskirts, offers a haunting glimpse into the past, just a 15-minute walk north of the cemetery. Or the Mystic Saloon, just a 6-minute walk from the train station. Mystic Saloon still serves up classic drinks, though some services of the past are long gone. Or the Mystic Jailhouse. The abandoned Mystic Jailhouse is open for visitors to explore its lower level, snap a popular tourist photo by the old gallows. This is how a little town survives, actually. You make up a fake story about disappearing residents, and you name some places, some weird spooky names, and all of a sudden you got a tourist attraction on your hands. The Trading Post, the heart of Mystic Point. Come on in and explore the Trading Post, where the past meets the present and every corner has a story to tell. One-of-a-kind finds, handcrafted goods, antiques, and treasures you won't find anywhere else. Small town charm, built with pride, rebuilt with history, and always worth the visit. Open daily 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Stop by, say howdy, and take home a piece of Mystic Point's history. So you might imagine that we would look closely for some clue here. We do have our microscope, which we can bring out if we think it's going to be relevant. We'll worry about it later, though. All right, so we've read through everything that is available in her wallet. It's a little odd because we've been told to figure out how Cassandra lied, but we haven't heard from Cassandra, which is odd. The envelopes we're not supposed to open yet, so we'll be told after we complete objective 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have to go to, we're going to have to get the phone interview. I guess we're going to get to listen to that, I wonder, or read a transcript. She says, I've spent hours revisiting my phone interview with Tara's business partner. Do we get to see that? It's weird that there's no link to it. Or maybe we're going to get a link when we visit Cassandra's website. Or if not, oh, here, look, you can find evidence once you find evidence. All right, well, it doesn't sound like we're supposed to go to this yet. But somewhere we surely are going to get to hear Cassandra's interview. All right, we'll take our first break here for 8 minutes. We'll come back and we will dig a little deeper into this case. I'll see you then. We are back, and we've been through all of the documents here. We haven't heard from Cassandra, but we have to prove she's lied. That's an odd thing, but maybe we just need to go to some of these websites. Let's review our little statement here, though. The editor of this press has interviewed Cassandra by phone. I spent hours revisiting my phone interview with her business partner. Something about her felt dishonest. At the time, I just thought she was eccentric. I have a feeling she lied to me about what happened. And then we're also told that the mayor met her. He stated she was surely a bit eccentric, used the same term, eccentric, but still friendly. She asked me about the special powers of our polished stones at the trading post. So if they both got off the train at the stopover, then they both went to the trading post. All right, well, we've got to either see that statement from Cassandra or see something that she's writing. So I think maybe our first step is this website. Maybe she's written a blog post or something that catches her in a lie. I think we could scan this or just open up the web page. Let's try to just open up the web page. Should be the same thing. twopsychicladies.com. Well, here we go. There's Tara on the left and Cassandra on the right. We'll show you a future so bright you'll need polarized sunglasses. We've got book a session, latest news, meet the two psychic ladies. A note from Cassandra. Here we go. Even though Tara disappeared without a trace and left me to run the business all by myself, I decided to keep our name, Two Psychic Ladies. My hope is to honor Tara's legacy while holding on to faith that she may return one day. It also helps me avoid filing additional paperwork. All right. And then we've got a little crow. You can book an appointment. All right, let's take a look. Let's meet Cassandra. A letter from Cassandra. Hey there, I'm Cassandra, a psychic medium and co-founder of Two Psychic Ladies. I'm all about giving my clients the absolute best, which is why I learned from the top mentors out there to make sure my readings, past life regressions, and crystal work are nothing short of extraordinary. Following Tara's unexpected disappearance, I've continued to serve our clients with unwavering dedication. My commitment to providing insightful and heartfelt support remains the cornerstone of this practice. Cassandra Price. Now we've got Cassandra's handwriting. I can't help but feel like this is going to be important for us. All right, there is Cassandra eating a piece of chocolate with a bird on a chain. Drinking her coffee. That's her cappuccino, macchiato. I think that's another tip that she likes chocolate and coffee. Cassandra Price, visionary of all things unseen. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of photos of her. Can we click these? Look how nice that. Boy, they put some effort into this, huh? Okay, let's see. All right, she likes crystals. Okay. Crystal around her neck, some pottery. She sure likes crows. There's her crystal ball reading. Do we care about... I guess we're trying to spot her near maybe at places where she claimed she wasn't. But we haven't heard her claim anything yet. Okay. Let's picture her from the back. Here she is doing a tarot reading. More crystal ball reading. She's got some rings. Okay. Got a little neck collar, whatever you call it. Little blue feather. She likes taking photographs. All right, looks like we've seen all these now. All right. What else do we have here? Let's go back. Let's learn about Tara. Where is Tara? Nobody knows. 6 months later, I see she's been missing for 6 months. All right, let's read. 6 months later, the mysterious disappearance of Tara B. Noble. Cassandra Price and Tara Noble pose in front of their psychic shop by Tyler Ziti. So a lot of everything seems to be a pasta reference here, as SSN was pointing out in the chat. Claremont, Texas. Today marks 6 months since beloved local psychic Tara B. Noble vanished during a trip to the Austin, Texas Psychic Fair with her business partner, Cassandra Price. Tara's disappearance has left Claremont residents puzzled and heartbroken. Authorities have focused their search efforts in Austin, where Tara was attending the psychic fair. Despite weeks of investigation, no significant leads have been uncovered, leaving her family, friends, and community desperate for answers. Tara's business partner, Cassandra Price, has been deeply affected by the loss and shared her thoughts in an emotional statement. Not a day goes by I don't think about Tara and what might have happened. She's more than my business partner, she's family. I still believe she'll come back to us, and I'm holding on to that hope with everything I have. To honor Tara, a candlelight vigil will be held tonight at the town square, where residents will gather to share memories and keep her spirit alive. Claremont holds on to hope that one day the mystery of Tara's disappearance will be solved. Even more hopefully that Tara will return alive and well. So I just want to point out, it says authorities have focused their search efforts in Austin, where Tara was attending the psychic fair. So perhaps what we're going to try to figure out is whether she actually did ever get back on that train to Austin, or whether she went missing in Mystic. And maybe part of that is going to be what Cassandra says happened. Is it going to turn out that Cassandra says she got on the train back with Tara, but we're going to find evidence that she didn't, in addition to her wallet? All right, let's see. What's this here? Missing persons. All right, let's look at this. Tara Noble, 5'4", 130 pounds, hair black, eyes brown. Last known location, Austin, Texas Psychic Fair. Okay, so here we go. Reporting person, Cassandra Price, down at the bottom. So Cassandra is claiming that Tara made it to Austin, and we think she probably didn't. So let's read. Here is Tara's statement. Tara Noble, my business partner. Here's Cassandra's statement about Tara. Tara Noble, my business partner and close friend, has gone missing. We were traveling together from Claremont to Austin for the Austin Psychic Fair. We left on the 9 a.m. train, had a brief stop in Mystic Point around 11. While at the station, Tara and I split up briefly so I could check out the trading post and she could go to the bathroom. So far, checks out. As she was on her way, some old timer took a picture of her. I think maybe he worked for the train station. I didn't stick around long enough to hear. So far, consistent. Now, instead, I wandered into the trading post to browse their collection of rocks and gemstones. The man working there didn't know anything about any of the stones' spiritual significance or healing properties, which is honestly kind of embarrassing for him. I decided not to waste my money and got back on the train. So far consistent, matches what the mayor said about meeting Cassandra, and she was eccentric. Now, as soon as the train arrived in Austin, I was immediately swept up in the excitement of the fair, especially since I was meeting my hero, Madame Issa Farfel. The day was a whirlwind of activity. There was no way we could keep track of each other. Tara can be a bit of a lone wolf and often goes off on her own. I got on the 7 p.m. train back to Claremont, but Tara wasn't on it. At first, I assumed she had stayed in Austin. When I didn't hear from her the next day, I sensed something could be wrong. She might have gotten lost in Austin or encountered trouble there. I strongly recommend a search party be organized in the city to help locate her. Okay. So we're going to try to prove now that Tara never got on that. I think it's going to turn out that Tara disappeared in Mystic. But just because her wallet was found in Mystic does not prove that. Although surely if she lost her wallet, she would have mentioned it. She couldn't have gotten into the convention without her wallet because she's got her VIP pass. So, but I'm not sure Cassandra says for sure that they both got into the convention. Is she saying that she hung out with Tara at the convention? She said, I got swept up. We couldn't keep track of each other. But how does she get in? Tara can't get in without her ticket. So Cassandra must be lying if she said that both of them got into the door. And it is right next to the train station. All right, that sounds like we've caught her lying, but not 100% for sure. Let's listen to this letter from Tara. Welcome, I'm Tara, clairvoyant psychic, deep passion for helping others find clarity in their lives. For as long as I can remember, I've been able to connect with the unseen, offer guidance that brings peace and understanding. Whether you're seeking answers to life's big questions or just looking for a little direction, I'm here to help. Let's explore the unknown together and discover what the universe has in store for you. And there's her handwriting again, and then we've got some pictures. Okay. These two seem to be really selling that they're attractive young women doing this. All right, here she is looking at some stones, doing a tarot reading, writing a letter, reading a book, looking at flowers. All right, come on, guys. Having some tea, doing some crazy rock water thing, back to yoga and the stones. All right. What else have we got on this website? Book a session, latest news. All right, let's click on book a session and see what happens. We can see you're coming. Let's schedule an appointment. So, boy, we've got their emails again. It really sounds like this game wants us to email them. Can we click on this to see a map where they are? No, good. What about this? Okay. Let's go back. What about latest news? Oh, are we going to get a video here? Latest news. Tara's disappearance 6 months later. Missing persons report filed for Tara 6 months ago. That's our missing persons. Austin Psychic Fair recap. Okay, let's see if this woman is going to pretend that Tara was with her inside. So this is her blog. So first, she is. We're going to the fair. She's showing off her pass. Look at this blog. Look at all these other articles. All right, so we read this one, our grand opening. Did we read this one? Are these all articles we can read? Holy crap, there's a lot of content here. I gotta say, I'm a bit impressed. Introducing Two Psychic Ladies. Welcome to Two Psychic Ladies, your go-to place for cosmic guidance. We're excited to start serving the Claremont community with me, Cassandra, as your psychic medium, and Tara as your trusted clairvoyant. You're set to unlock your life's mysteries. Join us for a grand opening this weekend. This was 9 months ago, and here they are together, painting the place with a tank top. Welcome to Two Psychic Ladies, your go-to place for cosmic guidance. Okay, we've been working hard to bring this dream alive. They look like two good friends. I guess we're going to get a little bit of their history, huh? Tara and I have been working super hard to get the shop ready for clients. Good thing I don't mind getting my hands dirty, because painting is a lot messier than you think it would be. All jokes aside, we can't wait to share the space we've created with you. And here's the two of them in high school. Partners since 9th grade. Tara and I have been best friends forever since high school. BFFs forever since high school. This is where we decided we wanted to help people with our gifts and start our own bestie business. Our 15-year-old selves would be screaming if they could see our shop now. We believe a business built on friendship is built to last. We look forward to serving you for a long time to come. I mean, if they were such good friends 9 months ago, and then it's hard to see how things could go bad enough that you would be involved in someone's disappearance. Okay, let's see what else. What have we got here? So here they are. I'm an official Madame Farfo apprentice. She's got a picture here. Well, let's click on this and read it. All right, so here's this apprentice program. Dear Cassandra Price, congratulations. You're chosen as one of the Farfo faithful. Okay, and then she says, hey, I was selected. I'm so excited to share I've been selected as one of only 4 psychics in Texas to become a Farfo faithful apprentice. I know it will be amazing for the business and for all our wonderful clients. And here's Madame Farfo. Psyched to follow in Farfel's footsteps. Madame Farfo herself has assured me that under her guidance I can reach the same level of success she's had, which would be stellar because she's the most successful psychic in Texas. And then we've got a little picture of Tara considering joining. Tara didn't want to apply. She doesn't see the same value in Farfel's truth as I do, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I feel like this apprenticeship will take me to new heights, and I'm sure Tara will come around when she sees me soaring. I feel like Tara is the penny pincher, and Cassandra is the spending irresponsible person. That's why one of them only got a plain black coffee and the other one is spending money like crazy borrowing it. All right. Now, next up is their post about going to the fair. You got to be impressed by how much content they've done for this little game here. We're going to the Austin, Texas Psychic Fair. Oh my God, it's happening. Tara and I are heading to the Austin Psychic Fair. I could not be more excited. This is going to be the event of the year. I just know it's going to change so much for us and our business. I downloaded the e-tickets right away, but it didn't feel real until everything arrived in the mail today. We're fully prepped for whatever the day brings. I can't wait. Now, I downloaded the e-tickets. That's sort of important. Is she saying that they've got email versions of their tickets so they don't need these physical tickets? That's important if that's true. Okay, she's got her ticket. She really likes Madame Farfo. Going to meet my heroes. I'll definitely be adding to my Farfo wardrobe when we get there. I mean, look at how gorgeous she and this t-shirt are. Madame Farfo will be attending, doing readings, signing autographs, selling fresh merch. It's going to be epic. And then we have some of her stones. A gift for Madame Farfo. I've decided to gift Madame Farfo one of my gemstones, a token of loyalty. Now, the real challenge, which one? It has to be powerful, but also perfect for her. Decisions. All right. All right, so that was that. Now, here's the one I'm really interested in. Austin Psychic Fair recap. So here she is, all happy after coming back from the fair with her missing friend. A morning worth capturing. The morning sun at the train station was just too perfect not to grab a photo. Even at 8:20 a.m., I looked fresh and glowing. Probably because I was so excited about the day ahead. You know, sometimes it just all comes together. Okay, so morning coffee at Claremont. This is the one we have the receipt for. And there indeed is Tara drinking her cheap $2 coffee, I think. We stopped by the Claremont train station coffee shop before hopping on the train to the psychic fair. Tara just got a coffee. I knew I needed to be fueled for the day, so I treated myself to a delicious breakfast assortment. Okay, so this is full confirmation that Tara paid for the entire breakfast, of which $16.25 was owed by Cassandra. Tara didn't even charge her for tax and tip. So she was getting off easy. Now, here they are. They've taken a photo together at the train station. Quick selfie in Mystic Point. Our train stopped for a few minutes in this super cute little town called Mystic Point. I was totally right about the energy being powerful here. Tara and I could both feel the past. So here they are together at the train station. Now, Cassandra says she goes to the trading post. She says she went alone. I popped into the trading post while Tara was going to the bathroom, all consistent with what she said. It's so cute and full of charm. They had some nice gemstones, but the salesperson was unsure about their power, so I didn't make a purchase. I snapped this photo to share with Tara and, of course, with all of you. Feels like there might be a clue in there, but now let's keep going for a minute. Made it to Austin. Here she is at the fair. Here's me right after walking in. It was a long trip. I couldn't wait to see Madame Farfel. Wow, you guys. It was amazing. So much bigger than I thought and so inspiring. And here she is with her heroes. Meeting fellow Farfel faithfuls. This was the best day of my life. Not only did I meet my hero, Madame Isa Farfel, I also met the 3 other Farfel faithful of Texas. We are so excited. We are also excited to manifest success for our clients and pocketbooks. Okay. The legendary Madame Farfel. The highlight of the psychic fair, finally meeting the one and only Madame Farfel. As a proud Farfel faithful apprentice, I couldn't wait to soak in her wisdom. Her energy is absolutely magnetic, and just being in her presence was unforgettable. A day of inspiration and new beginnings. The rest of the day was a total success with speakers, vendor tables, and even a few friends. The day finished strong, and then it was time to hop on the train back to Claremont. Home safe after a great day. The train ride back felt so much longer, probably because I was exhausted from such an empowering day. Return train pulled in at 11 p.m. and I was passed out in bed by 11:45. All right, well, she hasn't mentioned anything about Tara coming with her. It feels like... So what would be an example of catching her in a lie? If we caught some reflection in something that showed that she was standing there with Tara... But nothing, I don't know what we'd be looking for here to catch her in a lie. Here they are together. I know she said that they split up. It is weird that Tara would come outside for a selfie and then go to the bathroom, but not that crazy. So I'm not sure we catch her in any lie here. Oh, all right, so that was her recap. But we haven't read this. Paperwork. Tara went missing during our trip to the psychic fair and never made it home. I didn't realize anything was wrong until I didn't hear from her the next day. I went straight to the sheriff's department. I posted flyers for Tara everywhere. Someone has to have seen or heard from her. I made a bunch of flyers, posted them all around town. Hopefully someone will call with information. Okay, there's our first lie. Now we've got a lie. Last seen at the Austin, Texas Psychic Fair. well, we don't know that she didn't go missing at the Austin, Texas psychic fair, but we suspect she didn't. So here we have Cassandra saying that she did make it to the Austin, Texas psychic fair. But we know she did not use her ticket, although there's mention of e-tickets. Assuming she couldn't use an e-ticket to get in, this proves she didn't make it. Surely she would have found that her wallet was missing and said something about it too. So I feel like that Cassandra is now lying. A lot of stuff in our business got messed up by Tara's no-show and disappearance. I've decided to officially take full ownership of two psychic ladies to keep things going. Don't worry, I'm keeping the name because it just feels right. I'll be offering all the same services, just solo now. All right, now what about this article about the missing? Wow, my first time on TV. Okay, here's where we're going to catch her really lying. Can you believe it? I'm small town famous. A reporter at the local station saw one of my old posters for Tara, decided to do a follow-up story 1 week ago. Okay, so 6 months later she went missing. Now they've doing an interview of her 1 week ago. She says, they interviewed me about how things have been and where the business is now. And I was pictured in the paper. They even published a photo of Tara and myself in front of our shop in the paper. Maybe more people will come to support the shop to honor Tara's legacy and my commitment to running things solo. Okay. And then this is the same article we already read. And here she is pretending to grieve for Tara. As you can see from all the publicity, I tried everything to find Tara, but even I have to face the music. Tara probably isn't coming back. I conducted one last cleansing and farewell ritual for Tara for the anniversary of her disappearance. I know she would be happy. I kept the shop going. So here's a question, like, even if she did want to kill her, how does she dispose of her? How does the body go missing? So, I mean, even if we caught her lying, now, is this a video we can watch? Doesn't look like it. It's just a still. I will never quit searching for Tara. And what is she wearing? Just more necklace. That would be a good way to catch her. If we could catch her wearing Tara's necklace. Here is the photo that was taken of her on that day. Let's take a good look at that necklace because that would be a good way to catch her up to no good. It's like a gold link necklace with a little weird stone here. She's not wearing it here for sure, but is she wearing it anywhere? Not there. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I feel like it keeps giving us these emails. I wonder if we should email that just to see what happens. Kind of weird that it's shouting that out at us. Well, I'll tell you what I think we should do. I'm just looking to see if we can catch her wearing Tara's necklace. Any thoughts before? Is this a better view of Tara's necklace? Not really. So what I think we should do is we should go to the website where we answer this question and see what choices we have and see if one of them is that she's obviously lying about Tara getting in if she hasn't used her thing. So let's try that. And then we will give it another think if that doesn't work. I can close these. Okay, what's Cassandra's why? All right, here we go. So here are the choices we have. Time they left Claremont, how long the train ride was, using the restroom, meeting her fellow apprentices, meeting Madame Farfel, attending the psychic conference, her apprenticeship, co-owning the business, going home after the train ride, seeing Walter Henderson at the station, submitting a missing person report, painting the shop, knowing Tara since 9th grade, being faithful to Madame Farfel, Tara being a clairvoyant psychic, being interviewed, what time they arrived at the conference, buying her train ticket, buying her conference ticket, Madame Farfel being rich. Please note, you can get up to 3 hints after answering after putting in the incorrect answer. Huh. It's a little weird. It's just a little weird how it's structured. Like, it sounds like this person writing to us is saying, here I had this interview, and I think she lied in the interview. I spent hours revisiting my phone interview. I can't shake the feeling she lied to me about what happened. She claimed she was with Tara all the way to Austin. I'm convinced she's the key to unraveling this mystery. It's so weird then that we don't get to hear this interview or read it, that it sounds like we're being asked to see what she's lying about. But you can see that we're not, at least, I mean, it's not here, but it's not saying anything about the websites. The websites, we do have plenty of statements from her, so it seems like she's made a bunch of statements, but it's a little weird. Like, if we think the lie is that Tara never made it to the show, what would we pick here? Like, there's so many silly things here. Why is there not one that's clear about Tara getting in? I mean, I didn't even pay attention to the time she said they got on the train because it seems silly and irrelevant. Why would you lie about it? Same thing with how long the train ride is. I mean, I guess we could go re-find those and compare whether they're telling the truth. It just seems... I just wish it was clearer. Like, if it said what was the lie that was significant, then we could rule these out. But all right, let's see if we can find a better. Tara using the restroom, we think that's true. Meeting fellow apprentices, we think that's true. She took photos. Madame Farfel, we saw the photo. Attend the conference, we saw the photos. Apprenticeship, we saw the posts. Co-owning the business, that's true. Going home after the train ride. I mean, obviously she went home. Seeing Walter Henderson at the station. I know Walter Henderson met Tara, but Walter Henderson doesn't say anything about meeting her friend. I don't know if she said, I don't remember she said that. Submitting a missing persons report, well, she did do that. I don't even, what would that even be the lie? We haven't heard her. Okay. Painting the shop. This is very, okay. It's very odd because it's, what did she lie about? Do you mean on her blogs when she posted the photo of her painting the shop? She's not mentioned it anywhere else, so how can that be a lie? That's just weird. Knowing Tara since 9th grade. Being faithful. Being clairvoyant, psychic. Being interviewed on TV. What time they arrived at the conference. Buying her train ticket. Buying her conference ticket. Does anyone have any thoughts about the oddity of this situation? It's just, I find this very oddly strange, oddly framed, very strangely. Very bizarrely framed. Like, here's, I had this interview discussion with her, and I'm sure she lied during it. Now, how did she lie? And then we don't get to read the discussion that she thinks the lie happened, and we're supposed to just go through all her stuff and find her lying about anything? She claims she was with Tara all the way to Austin. Okay, so if we want to say that we don't believe that, which of these are we supposed to pick? Anyway, that is really unnecessarily nonsensical. We arrived at the fair in Austin as scheduled. She couldn't stop talking about all the ways we could grow the business. All right, so she claims they arrived in Austin as scheduled. And the reason we don't think that is because she's got her ticket here that wasn't used if it's in her wallet. But Cassandra's statement seems a little ambiguous to catch her. How do we prove that Tara didn't show up, walk up to the gate, separate from Cassandra, and then discover her wallet was missing? Like, all right, skip the part about how this website with the questions is terrible and terribly structured and very poorly explained. Let's say I told you that the lie is that we know Tara never got in. So this woman, Cassandra's lying. Couldn't your counterpoint be, one, maybe Tara and Cassandra split off right at the gate entrance, and then Tara discovered she was missing her wallet, and then went to look for her wallet on the train and then disappeared? Wouldn't that be consistent with everything Cassandra's saying? Or they get to the gate and Tara can't find her wallet and brings out her e-ticket, or Cassandra gives her the e-ticket. But she says, let's read this again. I downloaded the e-tickets right away. Let's read the missing persons report again, maybe. I don't understand why you put so much effort into making a good game and then you just have a question like that. Have questions and statement that's so strange. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the missing persons report. No. All right, guys. All right. Where is the missing persons report that we were reading? Why? Train ride pulled in at 11 p.m. That's when it says it's supposed to pull in. Here's this weird photograph. Like, why is it giving us these? Why is it showing us this? We don't know. Feels like it could be a clue, and yet now she's got a purse. Where's her purse? Her purse and her body are missing. We don't know where. And for some reason, I can't find the missing persons report anymore. So now the challenge of the game is not to try to understand the case, it's to figure out where on earth the documents are. It's on Tara's page. We left on the 9 a.m. train, had a brief stop in Mystic Point at 11. That is exactly what the tickets say, so she's not lying about that. She went to the bathroom. The old man took a picture of her. She didn't stick around. She says she goes into the trading post. The guy doesn't know. That's what he says. That's all consistent. What's the point of this? Why wouldn't you... Why wouldn't this be clear? All right. It says it's going to give us a hint if we're wrong. So rather than me just complaining about this, what did Cassandra lie about? Attending the psychic conference. Does that mean, is that asking if she's lying about her attending it or Tara attending it? Buying her train ticket, buying her conference ticket. Rob says, maybe the answer is what time they arrived since they never made it. There's no they. Boy, that is a terrible question. I mean, that's a terrible answer choice if that's how we're supposed to detect it. Wow, I really dislike this. This seems like... Occasionally this happens. We get a game where it feels like so much has been done so well and carefully, and then it's like someone has stumbled over the threshold of the door and fallen and dropped all the stuff on the floor and made a mess of your game. Like, you've made a mess of your game by wording these so poorly and being so unclear about what's this asterisk? What did she lie about? There's no asterisk. There's no explanation of what the asterisk is. All right. All right. We're going to guess that the answer is, since no one in the chat has any better solution, and I don't even think it's the right solution anyway. I don't believe we have evidence about this. But otherwise, we'll say this. Buying her train ticket. I mean, I don't even remember where anyone said anything about buying a train ticket. So that sounds like we've missed that. But I'm going to click submit and see what it says. It really pains me to do so, but I don't. Tara being a clairvoyant psychic, like what kind of answer is that? Are we supposed to say that's not the answer because even though it's not true, it's not a, I'm unhappy about this, but I'm going to click check answer. That might be right. Enter your evidence to prove it. What item from Tara's wallet is needed to prove Cassandra lied? Okay, so we think it's the VIP ticket. It is pointing out that the Austin, that we do have this. Does this mean she made it to the fair? Or is this just a brochure from ahead of time? Probably we could answer that, right? Probably we could answer that because we saw the items they got in the mail. Let me just confirm that. If you thought that maybe you would need that. Yes, okay. So here's what they got in the mail. So we know she didn't have to be present to get the psychic fair brochure. All right, so now we can go back here and say that it's the VIP ticket because surely she couldn't have gotten in without the ticket, even though it mentions the ebook, the e-ticket. Now, this is odd that we've got this Texas Rangers card from Austin, but I don't think we can assume that that's from now. So I guess I'm going to click submit here, although I will point out that the business card from the Ranger Wade Nash is from Austin, but we don't know. That would suggest she made it to Austin, but not necessarily. All right, I'm going to say check answer. Fuck me. All right, well. Well, this is a good example of. Okay, and can I go back? No, I can't go back. There's no back button. I mean, this is a good example of sort of. We read on the blog that she downloaded her e-ticket, so maybe if we trusted that the case was written really well, we might say, yes, she didn't use her actual ticket, so she didn't get in. So, but maybe she used her e-ticket, but we don't trust that the game is not full of bugs, so we don't know. And now it's made us answer 2 questions, and we don't know if it's saying we're wrong because our first answer was wrong, or if we're wrong because of what we said proves it. Oh. Wow, I didn't think I was going to be so upset at this game so quickly. All right. Well, let me take my advice. I hate to do it, but I it's not healthy to be here just getting angry. Okay, click on the button. What button are you talking about? Do you mean this photo? Which seems like it's the hint in of itself. I can't go back, so you're not letting me answer it again. I guess I have to. Click on this photo? No. Click on the button below. What button are you talking about, guys? There's no button. There's no button and there's no back. Is it because your website's broken? Should I go off the desktop site? Oh, no hint. We're just back. All right. Okay, chat is not being of any help at all. It's just me. All right, let's think about this then. Maybe when it says, what did Cassandra lie about attending the psychic conference? That seems clearly that it's asking if she lied about herself attending, even though it's very poorly written. I'm going to have to assume that that's what it means. If so, that's clearly not a lie. Going home after the train ride. Is there any sign that she did not go home, that Cassandra didn't? It's just terribly written, but okay. I'm just going to assume that every time it says something and doesn't say what she said about it, that it means that she didn't go home after the train ride. How are we supposed to know if that's a lie? How are we supposed to know if that's a lie, if she really did go home after the train ride? Okay, let's think then. Maybe there is a way for us to know that. I mean, surely we have to know the answer one way or the other, right? Did Cassandra lie about going home after the train ride? Surely we have to say, yes, she's telling the truth, or she's lying. So somewhere in this blog that we now have to spend an hour going through again, we have to be able to say whether it's a true or a lie that she went home. Here she is saying that she went home. Okay, was she lying or not? The return train pulled in 11. I was passed out by 11:45. So the train says it arrives at 11. Okay, how do we know if that's a lie or not? Is the idea that we don't know it's a lie, but we don't know if it could be a lie, but we can't prove it, so we don't choose that one? And Tina says, you chose what time they arrived at the conference. Yes, we did, because we tried to assume that that was the answer that meant they didn't arrive, because we don't think they arrived, but maybe they did arrive. Do we think this is a lie not about her attending, but about Tara attending? That can't be. How? It could not be written more poorly as a question if that's what you want. All right, we're going to try to submit this to see if we get a different first answer. That was not her lie. Okay, want a hint? Click the button. There's no button. There's no button. There's no button. There's no back. Clicking everywhere. No button, no back. And now we're on the mobile version, but we were on the desktop site before. I'm going to click desktop site. Now it's just gone. All right, so we were right. It sounds like we were right when we first answered this. So we'll try this again. What time they arrived, which was our interpretation of this terrible choice, meaning it was a lie because they didn't arrive. Although, when does she say they arrived? Maybe she said they arrived at a time inconsistent. And maybe we're not supposed to... I don't see her saying when they arrived here. All right, let's not worry about that. So we think our first answer was correct. Might be right. Now, what item do we prove that she lied about when they arrived? I guess the only way to answer that is to know, is to interpret this question about whether she's saying they both arrived. That can't be. All right, let's just read these choices here, assuming that this answer is right, which is a terrible answer to be right, because now it seems to be suggesting that we have to figure out a timeline lie, but we think we're answering that one of them never made it at all. Maybe it's the train ticket? What are you talking about? She did use it to board the train. She did use it to board the train. Maybe you need your ID to get in? But then why wouldn't this be an answer? Do we have to find her telling, like, if she says somewhere that she arrived at 4 p.m., then that's a lie because the train gets in at 1 p.m. So is that what we're looking for somewhere? Made it to Austin. It was a long trip. And we do get told when the meeting with Miss Barfel is. Oh, there's a time right there. Look at that, 2:03 p.m. Okay, so that's me right after walking in. Bingo, we got it. Okay, right after walking in at 2:03 p.m. And we're told that The train arrived at 1 p.m. Assuming it was on time. I don't know how we're supposed to know that there was no delay, but fresh off the train, 2:03 p.m. All right, so now we think that the answer to this is not that they didn't both arrive, but that we're catching her lying about when she got in, even though she didn't say when she got in. It's just that the photo of when she got in is wrong, even though she never said anything about when she got in. And so we can't even choose here that the photo of that is wrong. I guess now it wants us to say that the train ticket proves that she was lying about when it got in. Ooh, this is terrible. What page from the website is needed to confirm? Okay, now we know it's the blog about her getting into the recap. And as soon as I click these, it starts showing more. Which photo exposes her lie? Okay, well, now we know, although it's not loading properly, we know which photo it is. All right, this is a huge amount of work to do something very poorly. Huge amount of technical work to make a terrible question and answer. All right, but even though it's not loading, we think it should be this one here. Can I click check answer now, or I might have to wait for these pages to load, which aren't loading? I'm just going to say quick check answer. Oh, guys, no. What on earth? What on earth are you doing to us? All right, let's try again. What time they arrived? We think it's the train ticket in the wallet, which is related to the blog post about the recap. And the photo that proves it is this one, which I'm going to click. Same thing I did before, but maybe now it'll work now that it's loaded. What's the odds that this is going to work? Check answer. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. What a fuck up from this company. All right. Cassandra's lie is very sketchy. Great work. You can now open the envelope. We arrived at the fair in Austin as scheduled. Okay. Boy, I mean, the pieces are here for a good puzzle. It's just they stepped all over it with this terrible set of answers and questions. Okay, well, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll open envelope A. I'll see you in 8 minutes. Try to reset. I apologize for getting so angry at this game. I think it doesn't help that I'm playing this in the afternoon. This is not my normal time to be doing this. I should be fast asleep here. I think my patience is a little thin, and I react very poorly to badly formed questions. Let me just point out here, though, that we've concluded that she's lied about when she's arrived. Let me just propose something to you. This is her blog post, and she's showing us this picture. And the way we are proving that she's lying is that she says on her blog, "Here's me right after walking in." Isn't it, in the realistic world of life, is it not a little more likely that when someone posts a picture on their blog of them looking this pretty, saying, "This is me when I just walked in," isn't it at least possible that that's the lie? That this picture wasn't taken right when she walked into the door? And maybe she's writing a story and looking at her photos and deciding, "I'll just say this is the photo of when I walked in the door." In which case, if you want to entertain that possibility, the lie wasn't when she arrived, and this doesn't prove that she arrived at 2 p.m. It merely proves she took a photo at 2 p.m., and maybe she was wrong or lying about it being taken right when she walked in the door. However, that's not really my complaint about this question and answer. My complaint about the question and answer is how terribly worded the questions and choices were, and then the follow-up pieces of that. The idea of hiding the time in this photo is actually very clever. It just should have been handled better. All right, well, let's get back to the game. We're all reset. That's why we take these 8-minute breaks, because inevitably I get angry. And then at least on the hour we can reset and get rid of the anger, if only temporarily. Although we've figured out long ago that the anger comes back, comes roaring back. All right, envelope A. Let's see what new information we have. Dear Detective, this is Texas Ranger Wade Nash. Margaret Kinney told me you're investigating Tara Noble's disappearance, and I need your help. I've been pursuing a powerful network of con artists posing as psychic mediums. The operation is led by Isabel Farley, alias Madame Issa Farfel. Farley uses her extraordinary powers of persuasion to lure wannabe psychics into her scheme, convincing them they have supernatural abilities. She calls her followers the Farfel Faithful. Farley has a cult-like grip on her network of psychics, and she teaches them specific techniques to fool clients into handing over their life savings. They've stolen over $50 million from victims across Texas in just the past year. Tara initially worked as Cassandra's business partner, but after I explained the extent of Farfel's operation, she decided to help me gather evidence against her and dismantle the psychic pyramid scheme. Aha, now we got a motive. I warned Tara it was dangerous, but she insisted. I met with Cassandra and confronted her about what happened in Mystic Point. I know she was lying, but she gave me a plausible alibi supported by evidence I can't refute. I provided you with her statement and some photos she took during her extra hour in Mystic Point. After 6 months of no contact, I'm certain Tara has paid the ultimate price for her courage. I believe Cassandra murdered Tara in Mystic Point. I just can't prove it yet. Without Tara's body or undeniable proof of her fate, I can't build a case or deliver justice for Tara or the countless others Farfel has exploited. Your work has been exceptional. I need you to keep going for everyone's sake. Can you help me find Tara's body? Well, we were wondering about the body. Okay, so this guy is saying He contacted Tara way before she disappeared, said, your partner is involved in a pyramid scheme. Help me get evidence. She said, okay, I'll get evidence. And then he says, I met with Cassandra to confront her. So this is, months after she's disappeared. This guy finds Cassandra. He says, what happened in Mystic Point? He says, I know she was lying. She gave me a plausible alibi supported by evidence I can't refute. I provided her statement. All right, so more evidence from Cassandra we're going to try to refute. I believe Cassandra murdered Tara in Mystic Point. I just can't prove it. And then what? She got a subsequent train? How often do these trains run? Maybe they run often. Okay, and then we've got the items. So our new assignment is locate Tara's body. I think it might be in that tank we saw in that picture. Okay, here's the statement. Finally, we've got a statement from Cassandra. I need to clear up some confusion on what happened the day Tara disappeared. I wasn't completely truthful before. I needed more than 15 minutes in Mystic Point for a spiritual mission, so I let the train leave without me at 11:15 a.m. and I got on the next one an hour later to continue to Austin. That's why I was late to the fair. I shouldn't have lied, but I swear I didn't harm Tara. Here's what really happened. When I told my mentor, Madame Farfel, I would be passing through Mystic Point, she mentioned that their cemetery had powerful energy due to the town's history. I thought it would be highly impressive to her if I brought her something from the cemetery as a gift and token of my dedication. Tara wasn't happy when I sprung my plan on her at the station. She said it was grave robbing and insisted it could even be illegal, even though I assured her my intentions were purely spiritual. She decided to take the train ahead of me to Austin, and I just assumed she made it there and disappeared afterward. I kept quiet about my visit to the cemetery because I was afraid Tara might have been right and I could get in trouble. All I took was a small piece from a gravestone. I regret not being up front sooner, but I was overwhelmed and embarrassed. Thankfully, I have photos to support my story. One shows Tara at the station with some old-timer just after we split up. Another is of the object I took from the cemetery, and the last is of the Mystic Point train station as I left on the next train an hour later. I'm deeply sorry for not sharing this sooner. I hope it helps in the search for Tara. I still think she's in Austin, and authorities should keep looking for her here. Okay, looking for her there. All right, so good. We've got a new statement from her, and now we're going to try to disprove it and find Tara's body. So here is the photo that Cassandra says she took of the old-timer showing Tara the photo that he took of Tara at 11:06 a.m., 6 minutes after they arrived at the station for the layover. Here is the piece that Cassandra says she took from the cemetery. It's a stone saying 1867. Timestamp showing it was taken at 11:54. Remember, she's now claiming she got on the 12 p.m. train ride, right? She says, I took the next train in an hour. Train left me at 11:15. I get on the next one an hour later. So at 12:15, she's claiming she got on the next train. How far away is the cemetery from the train station? Because she only had 6 plus 15, 21 minutes to make it to the next train station. Okay, to the train. So it says it's only a 5-minute walk from the train station. So she could have taken this photo at 11:54 and been on the next train. So that's not a lie. But we could look for this artifact at the trading post if we think she's lying about that. Okay, here she is taking a photo of herself, or someone's taking a photo of her on the train pulling out of Mystic Point at 12:16. That's right when the train would leave. Okay, this looks like a place you could bury a body, or down in there. All right, well, it looks like she got on that train to me. And she could have made it back from here to here. And that's it. That's our evidence. So from that, we have to solve this. It feels to me like, now what are we trying to figure out? Locate her body. Locate her body, huh? Locate her body. That's weird. Like we could catch her in this lie. How are we going to locate her body? Locate her body, huh? I mean, short of seeing her hair through there, or something here, a little tricky to locate her body. So this is good. Now we've got an interesting little puzzle in front of us. All right, well, I don't know how to locate her body yet, but I do want to look at this, which looks very suspicious. I want to look at the website. With the photo of the I just wonder if she purchased that. Come on. I'm just wondering if she didn't purchase this at the trading post rather than find it at the cemetery. I don't see it though. I don't know why. I'm sort of thinking that that's all right. Interesting. So we basically got 3 photos and her statement, and from that we have to figure out where her body is. That's an interesting little puzzle. What kind of evidence would prove where the body is? If we can see her necklace somewhere. Okay, so look at this photo here that they're looking at. You can see she's got her necklace that she's wearing. So one way to find the body is to find the necklace. Find the necklace, find the body. This is where we need our magnifying glass again. Wasn't there another photo of the train station with the 2 of them together? Are there any differences with the one here? That is a good call as well. I think that's a very good call by Antina. Like, where is the photo of them together here? Okay, so Antina is saying, look at this photo, which shows the great. So here would be another way to find her body, not just her necklace, but look for her purse. So what do we see here? We see the we see this scene here. There's the grate. There's the grate. Is it backwards? Has it been changed? Look at that. Look how cool that is. Okay. So I see it. What do you see? Look closely. What do you see? That's a very clever idea by Antina. This is a very clever little puzzle. All right, take a look at that. What do you see? Maybe I can zoom in. All right, what do you see? Boy, that's cute. What do you notice here? Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's exactly right. The orientation of the bars has been changed. Look at how they are. So there's the front of the building. In this case, these are parallel to the front. And here in the photo from a few minutes earlier, an hour earlier, the bars are orthogonal or perpendicular. So someone has lifted off this grate and rotated it and put it back down. But look how clever that is, because like when you just look at it in isolation, you're like, okay, it doesn't look like it's been moved. It's not off the hinges, but you can see it's rotated 90 degrees. That's very clever. That's neat. Okay, so 2 photo puzzles in this game. Very good observation by Antina, who's actually very good at these kinds of games. Very good idea to compare the photos. And very clever little thing here. That's a clever puzzle because you're like, how on earth are we going to prove where the body was? But this makes sense. Okay, so looks like this one's going to be not so painful for us. Let us get out our objective number 2. All right. And we've got a blank page. All right, let's switch. Oh, there it goes. Are we on the desktop site? Does that help? Where is Tara's body located? In a session room, at their psychic shop. But we think the answer is underground at the Mystic train station. Yes, I think that's right. Okay, how do we prove it? What item from the wallet or the bonus envelope is needed to prove it? And this one is the photo of leaving Mystic Point. And what page on the website do we need? It's this page, which is the Boston Fair recap. And then which photo is needed? It's an interesting thing that they're making you pick all these. All right, so it's this one, the mystic selfie, and then we should be able to say yes now. You solved objective 2. Cassandra hid Tara's body underground at Mystic Point Station. Good work. You can now open the envelope B. The stormwater drain cover was rotated. Okay. All right. That one, no complaint. That one was quite well done. All right, bonus envelope B. And Tina says, weren't there any other people around while she tried to hide the body? I guess not. All right, here we go. Objective B, and probably C is our solution. So this is going to be the last thing for us to do. Convict the killer. We've got photos, and we've got a letter from Madame Issa Farfel. Dear Ranger Nash, I'm writing with the utmost urgency to proclaim Cassandra Price's complete and undeniable innocence. When I met with Cassandra at the Austin Psychic Fair, we spent time chatting, exchanging energy, and marveling over our favorite crystal collections. I've included a photo of us from that very day. It's simply inconceivable for someone with such a radiant smile to be a killer. If even the faintest shadow of darkness on murderous intent had lingered in her aura, I would have sensed it. I've detected deceit in strangers just by brushing past them at a coffee shop. So imagine what I would have picked up from spending so much time chatting with Cassandra. She radiated nothing but pure joy and light the entire time. Trust me, if Cassandra were capable of wickedness, I would be the first to collapse from the shock. If you'd like to hire me for my services and assistance in this investigation, I would be more than happy to help. I could help point you in the right direction, I'm certain. Madame Issa Farfel. All right, so we know she's a con artist. All right, so the rest of it is just photos. 4 photos. Let's see what we've got here. So they've opened up the grate and they're looking for the body. Finding Tara's body. All right, well, they found her purse. What have they found in the purse? Let's take a look together. We've got a necklace, bunch of necklaces, a paintbrush, looks like perfume, t-shirt or something, underwear, some essential oil stuff, a statue, coin. What is this? Perfume? All right, and then there's her purse with a stone in it. Doesn't look very important. Loose items found in the drain. Okay, so these could be related to our thing. Oh, this looks like the stone, maybe the second half of the stone that she hit her over the head with. Is that what's happened? Is that the second half of that? Doesn't really look like it. So these could be things that have just been lost in the drain for years. Screwdriver looks kind of old. Everything here looks old. We've got a drill bit, some keys, gear, wrench, and a rock that doesn't look very dirty. Don't see any blood on it though. And here is a picture of her and Madame Farfel again, which we've seen on her blog. Well, okay, I like this. Is a very photocentric case. what's particularly interesting is that these aren't immediately, the answer isn't immediately clear here. Okay, so how are we going to find evidence to prove that she killed her? So I suppose what we're looking for here is something that belonged to Cassandra. So perhaps this rock is the stone is her favorite stone. Looks like she's got perfume called Glow. Here's another necklace. So this looks like it's Tara's necklace. Items found in Tara's purse. Okay, so these are all items in her purse that they dumped out. So this would be maybe the more likely items. So we're looking for something probably of Cassandra's. If we found something of Cassandra's in there, then we could maybe suggest that she had to be the one to kill her. Or I guess if she's wearing Tara's necklace, but she's not. There's Tara's necklace. Do we need to zoom in on this more? What are we looking at here? There's a hairpin. Let's take a look at that photo again that was on her. So look, here is Cassandra. Look at what's around her neck. And then later, notice she gets to the conference and she's wearing her same choker, but no stone necklace. The stone is gone. So I think the answer is there's the stone right there. So there you have it. I think it's as simple as that. That she's lost the stone to her necklace. We can see she had it on when they got to the train station, and it's come off during the putting of the body down the drain. Simple as that. All right, let us go and open up this page. All right, how can we prove Cassandra killed Tara? She knew info only the killer knows. She just so sus. She took over the business. She happily interviewed. She's comfortable with death. She let Tara buy her breakfast on an IOU. She didn't file a missing report. Her crystal was found with Tara's body. There we go. The crystal was found with Tara's body. Okay, enter your evidence to prove it. What item from the wallet or the bonus envelope is needed? All right, so we need the photo of loose items in the drain. And then the page from the website is the same page we've been answering every time, the Austin Fair recap. and then which photo it's asking us to be specific about. And this is the only one that's, oh no, it's not the only one that's, okay, it's this one here. All right, here we go. Check the answer. You solved the case. Cassandra dropped her crystal in the drain with Tara. Good work. You can now open the envelope marked bonus envelope C. All right, so we solved the case. Almost the entire case was spent answering that first, almost the entire problem was answering that first question. Everything else has happened very quickly. All right, it looks like there's a little video for us to watch. Let's try to listen to that together. All right.
The Texas Rangers took down a $50 million fraud scheme earlier today. The mastermind of the scam was 54-year-old Isabel Farley, who goes by Madame Farfalle on late-night TV commercials. The scheme unraveled when Farley's protege, Cassandra Price of Claremont, Texas, was charged with murdering her business partner, Tara Noble. Officials say Tara was helping Texas Rangers expose Farfalle's scam when Price murdered her. The case was cold for 6 months until an independent investigator solved Noble's murder and ended the scheme. With Farley and Price behind bars, justice has been served and Tara Noble's courage will never be forgotten. Stay tuned for more updates, including an interview with Walter Henderson, the station agent in Mystic Point, Texas, who found crucial evidence in the case.
All right, so that audio was out of sync. It was not because of the YouTube stream. That's just audio on their website out of sync. Let's see. Okay, so here's our proof of exactly what we saw. And then we could provide feedback if we want. Now, no sign here, no instructions. Oh, it does say open bonus envelope. See, all right, let's see what this is. I think this is just going to repeat what the website is. Well, let's see. Why not go? It's wrong here. Okay, it says, congratulations, you just solved the case. You can order your next one. So we've got photos of the two of us con artists put in jail. That's kind of funny. And then we've got a letter here. Hello, detective, you've done it. The item you spotted proved to be the final piece of evidence needed to convict Cassandra. The crystal found with Tara's body came from a necklace Cassandra was wearing the day Tara disappeared. It tied her directly to Tara's body in the storm drain. Thanks to your razor-sharp instincts, Cassandra confessed to everything. Her testimony toppled Madame Farfalle's evil empire. No more lives will be ruined by her ruthless powers of persuasion. Tara's courage in standing up to Farfalle's schemes came at the ultimate cost, but her sacrifice was not in vain. Because of her, and because of you, countless others are now safe from Farfalle's schemes. This case was a heavy burden, but your efforts have made an immeasurable difference. Because of you, light has triumphed over darkness, and Tara's courage will never be forgotten. Due to your dedication on this case, I've reached out to the governor to personally nominate you as this year's honorary Texas Ranger. They say the sun never sets on justice as long as the Texas Ranger's still breathing. It sure ain't setting today, partner. And then here is Cassandra's confession. I did what had to be done. Madame Farfel didn't need to say it outright. Her teachings were clear. The vision must be protected at all costs, and Tara had become a threat. At Mystic Point Station, Tara confessed she was working with the Texas Rangers to build a case against Madame Farfel and asked for my help. I begged her to back off. She wouldn't listen. At that moment, it all made sense. She wasn't just a danger to me. She was a danger to Madame Farfel's vision, which needed to be protected. The opportunity came as soon as Tara turned her back. I picked up a large rock and didn't hesitate. Afterward, I was unsure of what to do. That's when the storm grate appeared, like the universe pointing me to the answer. Dragging her body was harder than I expected, and as I let her fall into the hole, my crystal pendant snapped free, tumbling in after her. The 10-foot drop made it impossible to retrieve, but I was convinced the grate would keep them both hidden, at least until I could return. When I told Madame Farfel, she assured me I'd done the right thing, promised to protect me. We planned to return and move the body, but with Rangers watching our every movement, it was too dangerous. We all choose our fate. Tara chose hers. She could have had everything, but couldn't see the vision. Tara was my friend, but I did what I had to do, just as Madame Farfel taught us. All right. Well, let's take a short 5-minute break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the case. There are only 9 concurrent viewers left on YouTube this afternoon, so there are not many of us to talk about it. But talk about it we will in 5 minutes. I'll see you then. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this case. I am curious what the audience thinks. I have to apologize for having a little meltdown with that first set of questions, but I really do think those were terribly worded. You can see, in fact, part of why we struggled with them, because the question is, what does she lie about? And the answer was what time they arrived. Well, one of the reasons why that was such a roadblock for us is that we correctly had figured out that Tara never arrived at all. So that answer didn't even make sense, what time they arrived. Well, they didn't arrive. So it was very hard to wrap our heads around that question and answer, and what was she lying about, and all that stuff was weird. But then the other two questions were just purely sort of comparing photographs, which was kind of cute, but they were very quick. Like the second and third parts of this case were just, here's some photographs and what's the answer. I do like the system where you have to prove what evidence you're using, but I think if you're having to prove what evidence, you should make the choices clearer. Let's talk briefly about this wallet gimmick. It really was a gimmick here, right? Let's see, what did we use from the wallet in any way? This. Was there anything else in the wallet that was of any use to us? Not really. And this could have just been included in a little, so like, it's cute. It's a cute thing, but it is a little odd that it had so little relevance to our case. The website was more impressive. That was a fully fleshed out little website with lots of information, lots of blog posts that helped us. And I do like the cleverness of the photos. It was really a photo case, right? Because the answer to the evidence of the first question was the photograph on the blog, and the answer to the second and third questions were all photographs comparing one in the blog on the same one webpage to the photographs here. I didn't mind that at all, but pretty thin case here. And a very odd choice to have this whole lore of this mystic Texas with this whole lore of this town and the people going missing, and this photograph of the trading post with the high resolution that we could scan and look at, and discussion of the whole history of the town, but then have it play no part in anything was pretty odd. This whole stuff was just totally irrelevant to anything. A little odd there. And I think, as being alluded in some of the comments, a little hard to believe that these two best friends since 9th grade went from opening a store together and being best friends to one murdering the other one because they're investigating this con artist. It's a little hard to believe. But within the realm of these kinds of games, it's not the end of the world. I do like the structure of the Unsolved Case games. I do like how you have to prove your theories. I do like the multiple parts. Just not the best executed. And a little bit gimmicky in ways that were unnecessary. Probably, of all of the Unsolved Case files that we've played, the 4 or 5 of them now, I think I'd rank this right at the bottom. Anyone who's played them with me want to rank this, or played them separately but played multiple? Where would you rank this? Assuming there's anyone in the chat still. I think my favorite part might have been the where is the body question, and then realize that the only way to answer that is to compare photos, which Antina intuited right away. That was actually, even solving it, noticing that the bars were reversed, that was cute, but not the cool part. The cool part was just realizing how are we going to figure out where the body is by noticing something that's changed. That was a nice little meta solution. What have we learned here? What have we learned? Probably the afternoon playthroughs of these games are not right for me. I feel like I've got too short a fuse. And maybe the wallet games are just a gimmick too far. I feel like you know what I feel like? I feel like a wallet game might be better suited to something like a Sherlock Holmes consulting detective, New York noir kind of case, where you're choosing where to go. Because then this idea that you get this wallet and then you're slowly going to say, okay, let me go to this place. Let me go to this place. And so you're gradually, actively piecing together a person's life from their wallet. Like, I think that might make a good case. Imagine a New York noir case where there is no intro. It's just, here's this found wallet. And then as you go through the items in the wallet, you would then go visit those places. Like if it's business cards or a receipt, right? So if you got this in the receipt, you'd be like, okay, let's go to this store and learn a little bit more about the story, so that you would gradually piece together this person's life and last days, last moments, by gradually investigating the items in the wallet. And that, I think, would make for a very compelling narrative case. Here, wasn't that compelling because we weren't uncovering their story. We weren't piecing together a story. It was really just a matter of which of these proves something, proves some fact. And That wasn't all that satisfying. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. If you have played this on your own and have a different opinion, maybe you didn't get stuck on that first objective, I'd like to hear it, or where you would rank this in the unsolved case files. Maybe you rank it a little more highly than I do. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.